This is Plant-Based Briefing, the beginner's guide to a whole food plant-based diet by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast where I narrate a variety of articles with permission on plant-based and vegan topics. And if you or someone you know has made a resolution to eat a healthier diet, maybe you want to reverse some chronic diseases, or you're already vegan for the animals and want to live healthier, this is a great episode to help people get started. It's from forksoverknives.com, which is an amazing website. They have so many resources for people at every stage of their plant-based journey. And if you haven't watched the world-famous documentary Forks Over Knives, you can do that for free on their website or on YouTube. The documentary is very inspirational and motivational, so I highly recommend it. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. The Beginner's Guide to a Whole Food Plant-Based Diet by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com. You're probably thinking that moving to a plant-based diet sounds like a great idea, but you don't know where to start. Don't worry, you're in the right place. We've got the tools, insight, and expertise to make the change easy and enjoyable. We'll answer your questions, provide helpful advice, and share the techniques you need. How a plant-based diet can boost your health. One of the most powerful steps you can take to improve your health, boost energy levels, and prevent chronic diseases is to move to a plant-based diet. If you've seen Forks Over Knives, you know that science shows changing your nutrition is a powerful way to live longer, help the environment, and reduce your risk of getting sick. There's excellent scientific evidence that many chronic diseases can be prevented, controlled, or even reversed with a whole food plant-based diet. Scientific research highlighted in the landmark book The China Study shows that a plant-based diet can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, certain types of cancer, and other major illnesses. Many people also report bigger fitness payoffs, more energy, reduced inflammation, and better health outcomes after making the switch. This plant-based diet for beginners will lay the foundation for everything you need to know to transform your health and happiness through food. What is a whole food plant-based diet? A whole food plant-based diet is based on the following principles. Whole foods, natural foods that are not heavily processed, that means whole, unrefined, or minimally refined ingredients, and plant-based, food that comes from plants and is free of animal ingredients such as meat, milk, eggs, or honey. There is overlap between whole food plant-based and vegan diets, but there are also some key differences. A vegan diet can include highly processed imitation meats and cheeses. A whole food plant-based diet eschews these products in favor of whole or minimally processed, close-to-nature foods that make it easy to meet your nutritional needs. The 5 food groups. Below is a quick overview of the major food categories you'll enjoy on a plant-based diet with examples. For a more detailed breakdown of what to eat on a whole food plant-based diet, check out the Forks Over Knives Diet Explained linked here. Fruits. Any type of fruit including apple, bananas, grapes, strawberries, citrus fruits, etc. Vegetables. Plenty of veggies including peppers, corn, lettuce, spinach, kale, peas, collards, etc. Tubers, starchy root vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, and cassava, aka yucca. Whole grains, like grains, cereals, and other starches in whole form such as quinoa, brown rice, whole wheat, oats, popcorn, etc. And legumes, beans of any kind, plus lentils, pulses, etc. There are plenty of other foods you can also enjoy, including nuts, seeds, avocados, tofu, tempeh, whole grain flours and breads, and plant-based milks. However, we recommend eating these foods in moderation because they're more calorie-dense and can contribute to weight gain. The benefits of a whole food plant-based diet. There are several major benefits to moving to plant-based nutrition, all supported by science. Plant-based diet benefits include easy weight management. People who eat a plant-based diet tend to be leaner than those who don't, and the diet makes it easy to lose weight and keep it off without counting calories. Disease prevention. Whole food plant-based eating can prevent, halt, and in some cases reverse chronic diseases. The scientific evidence is especially overwhelming when it comes to heart disease and diabetes, but research has also linked plant-based diets to lower rates of arthritis, improved liver function, and healthier kidneys. And a lighter environmental footprint. A plant-based diet places much less stress on the environment. Read on for a deeper look at some of the key benefits of a whole food plant-based diet. Easy weight management. If you're looking to lose weight and keep it off, a whole food plant-based diet is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Research shows that people who eat plant-based diets tend to be leaner than those who don't. A 2020 review looked at 19 intervention studies. i.e., studies in which participants were assigned a diet for a specified period of time and found that in each one, participants assigned to plant-based diets lost weight. Why are healthy plant-based diets so effective for weight loss? Research suggests that the crux is calorie density. Dairy products and highly processed foods are high in calories yet low in the fiber that helps us feel full and fuels a healthy gut microbiome. Whole plant foods are low in calories, meaning you can eat a high volume of food without exceeding your calorie needs. That's why on a whole food plant-based diet, you're encouraged to eat until you're satisfied, no calorie counting or portion control necessary. Improve heart health. A whole food plant-based diet is extremely effective at promoting cardiovascular health and preventing, halting, and in some cases even reversing heart disease, the leading cause of death in the United States. A 2019 review of 99 studies found that diets rich in whole plant foods were associated with significantly lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared with diets high in meat and dairy products. There are several reasons for this. Animal-based foods are high in saturated fat and cholesterol, which raise blood cholesterol levels, causing fatty, wax-like plaque to build up in the arteries. Highly processed foods often contain excessive salt, which raises blood pressure, damaging the lining of the arteries over time. By eliminating these harmful foods from your diet and replacing them with whole plant foods, you can bring down your cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and risk of heart disease. Learn more about diet and heart disease linked here. Prevent or reverse type 2 diabetes. Healthy plant-centered diets are associated with significantly lower rates of type 2 diabetes and improved outcomes in those who already have this dangerous chronic condition. A 2018 report in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care found that for people with type 2 diabetes, plant-based diets were more beneficial than the diets recommended by several diabetes associations, offering greater improvements in physical and emotional well-being. Plant-based diets are low in saturated fat, a culprit behind insulin resistance, and high in fiber, which helps the body to regulate blood sugar and properly absorb nutrients. Plant-based diets also reduce the risk of being overweight or obese, a primary risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Learn more about diabetes and diet linked here. It's better for the planet. Plant-based diet benefits also extend beyond your own body. Switching to a whole food, plant-based lifestyle is one of the best things you can do for the environment. The main reason is that raising animals for food is an incredibly inefficient use of resources. Growing crops to feed animals introduces a major extra step of waste relative to the efficiency of us just eating the plant foods directly, explains David L. Katz, MD, MPH, FACPM, FACP, FACLM. If you eat just the plants, you cut out the middleman. A 2018 analysis found that livestock produces just 18% of calories consumed globally, but takes up 83% of farmland. Vegan and plant-based whole food diets are also associated with fewer climate-altering greenhouse gas emissions. Learn more about your diet's impact on the environment, linked here. It'll save you money on groceries. Whole plant foods are not only the healthiest and most sustainable foods around, they're also some of the most affordable. In fact, going plant-based can cut grocery bills by $750 a year per person, according to research published in the Journal of Hunger and Environmental Nutrition. When you stock your kitchen with whole food plant-based staples such as brown rice, potatoes, and dried beans, you can assemble nutritious, satisfying meals for just a few dollars. To showcase just how affordable plant-based diets can be, we've put together a budget-friendly one-week vegan meal plan, How to Eat Plant-Based for just $7 a day, linked here. Simple plant-based recipes you'll love. We promised a plant-based diet for beginners would be easy. Now it's time to check out our entire archive of whole food plant-based diet recipes linked here. Below are some of our favorites to get you started. 40 quick and healthy 30-minute meals, 29 nourishing vegan fall soup recipes, 15 healthy hummus recipes we can't get enough of, 46 healthy vegan recipes that are totally crave-worthy, and 7 sweet and savory whole food vegan breakfasts to kickstart your day. You can easily experiment with giving some of your own favorite recipes a plant-based makeover. Replace the meat in your favorite chili with beans or lentils, cook up some wonderful veggie burgers, or make vegetables the star attraction in that stir-fry instead of chicken. For more delicious meal ideas, explore our recipe collection or download our mobile recipe app. How to get started. While some people like to dive in headfirst and go 100% whole food plant-based overnight, we know that a sudden lifestyle shift isn't for everyone. We asked one of our expert contributors, Craig McDougall, MD, for his advice for those who prefer a more gradual approach. Quote, Add around 1,000 calories of legumes, whole grains, and starchy vegetables to your everyday routine. These starchy foods keep you full and satisfied, so you'll naturally eat less of the animal products and processed foods that are making you sick, unquote. Dr. McDougall has plenty of other great advice to share, linked here. Forks Over Knives founder Brian Wendell has some good tips too. He encourages people to not sweat the small stuff and to look at the big picture instead. Quote, focus on the big changes like switching from meat, milk, and eggs to whole plant foods. Such changes dramatically improve the nutritional composition of your diet, so this is where you'll find the most noticeable and measurable improvements in your health, unquote. Whether you go all in or decide to make a gradual shift, the time to start making the change is now. You'll be glad you did. You just listened to The Beginner's Guide to a Whole Food Plant-Based Diet by Courtney Davison at forksoverknives.com, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. And I put a link to the original post in the show notes as always, and there are lots of links from there that you can access. They have success stories for the various health benefits they mentioned, the free 7-day meal plan, and all kinds of other resources. And the one benefit, the most important benefit in my opinion, that they don't touch on because they are focused on the health and environmental aspects, is the benefit to the animals. People eating a vegan or plant-based diet are no longer paying for animals to be abused unnecessarily in their name. And if you're already an ethical vegan or vegan for the animals, check out episode 324, 3 Ethical Reasons to Eat a Whole Food Plant-Based Diet for Health. It's by Brigitte Gem of Vegan Family Kitchen, and she brings up some really interesting points worth considering about why should ethically motivated vegans embrace a healthy way of eating. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes, and please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.